Hello all my inspirations and welcome to Inspirational by Marie. If you're here for the first time, I welcome you with love. We are a family here, so please get involved. Today we have an interesting topic. We're going to be discussing do not let fear stop you. Feel the fear but do it anyway. But before we get into that, please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right, let's get into it. So a few weeks back, I had a live stream and it was titled, Do Not Let Fear Stop You. Feel the fear but do it anyway. And I thought I would bring it to all my inspirations, anyone who missed the live stream for, time differences, etc., etc. This topic was such a great one, and after the discussion, I felt so liberated. I feel like fear is something that can and has literally crippled and stopped a lot of people, a lot of us from reaching our goals, our aspirations, and just really fulfilling that potential that we have inside of us because of fear. Now, one thing that we explored on the live stream is that it could be fear of other people's opinions, what that person's gonna think when you start this business, what that person's gonna think when you start your YouTube channel, or even what you say on your YouTube channel, the content that you're creating, okay? What that person's gonna say when you decide to start that charitable organization, what that person's gonna say when you step out and wanna do a speech, just any little thing that or big thing. It's like, what are they gonna think? What are they gonna say? And then for some reason, fear gets us, cripples us, and we just don't do it. And I feel like this is an important topic to speak about, because I think when we speak about things that make us uncomfortable, at the end of the day, we end up having a great result, and we end up feeling empowered, encouraged, blessed, inspired to go forth, right? So many people share different things, and one thing is this week or was it last week? This week or last week, my friend that I've known for a very, very long time, he basically asked me, he said, oh, I've been seeing, all you're doing on YouTube, and, how did you get like this, Marie? Like, how did you become like this? How did you become this person that's like on the front line, literally? How did you become this person? Because the person I knew when we went to a certain church, the person I knew, the Marie I knew then, was somebody who was doing things, had things to offer, but behind the scenes, behind the scenes. And I feel like I would always say, yeah, I can do it, but I don't want to be on the stage, or I don't want to be in front of people. I don't want to. And that's the kind of character and image I was portraying, that I could do it, but it would have to be behind the scenes. Do you get what I mean? So when he asked me this question, I reflected upon it, and I thought to myself, do you know what? It was fear. It was actually fear that was stopping me. Now, it wasn't fear because I knew I couldn't do it. I expressed in a live stream that I feel like sometimes fear can be actually based on your surroundings, okay? Based upon the people that you are surrounded or are around you, yeah? I feel like sometimes this is how we can feel fearful. Now, if the people that are around you do not encourage you, right? Do not, to some extent draw out your potential, or see what more you have to offer, or are concerned in your abilities, it can create fear, because you feel like, okay, if you do it, what they're gonna think or how they're gonna feel about it. So I used to have that image of I will do it, but behind the scenes, right? It's only now that I stepped out of that environment that I'm able to actually step forward, because I had to go through a process, you see, to eliminate that fear. I had to surround myself with different people, different environment, for people to actually be able to see the potential, for people to actually appreciate the potential. So I feel like sometimes fear can be created because of the people that we're actually around, that we're surrounded by. So that's one tip or step or whatever you want to call it. Be careful of the people that you surround yourself with. All right. Sometimes you have the potential, but you're shying away from showing people what you can do because you're not comfortable. You're not comfortable. They're too familiar with you. They don't even like, they're not able to see what you have to offer, basically, or they're not even concerned with it. So because of that reason, you shy away. All right. So this is just one of the things I thought of. And as I was even reflecting on speaking about this topic, it reminded me of the time in the Bible whereby Jesus went to his hometown, right? And the people around him, because they were familiar with him, okay, they said, oh, he's a carpenter's son, he's this, he's that, we grew up with him. They didn't really, they didn't respect him, basically. They didn't really see the value in him because they had grown up with him, right? Now, the Bible says that Jesus could not perform any miracles in that hometown. I don't want to digress. This is not, but I have to use this as an example. They said, the Bible says that he could not perform miracles in his hometown. These times Jesus had been performing miracles, right? But when he came to this particular hometown, the people that were familiar with him, he could not do it, okay? Now, this wasn't about fear. Jesus wasn't scared. I'm just trying to show you the impact and how important it is to surround yourself around people that are there to actually point out your strengths, to receive you, to be concerned with you, to actually look at you and say, who are you? What do you have to offer? Okay. Then I feel that when you are in that setting with these type of people, you'll be able to flourish. So that was what I went through, in that that setting I was in. I could not perform how I wanted to really perform because they just didn't really have any interest or didn't really respect or didn't really value, okay, until I stepped out and I'm now able to do what it is I want to do. So that's just one thing, okay. Now, other people in the live also expressed other things that that they feel fearful of, or where fear has stopped them from doing things. Some people spoke about physical appearance, right? And I totally could relate to this because definitely, as you all know, I put myself on the line when I spoke about the whole weight gain situation, and I said that, I didn't even want to do videos anymore because of the weight. It was just too much. And every time I watched back the videos, I felt like some type of way. I didn't feel comfortable. Okay, so some people expressed that. Now, the funny thing about that is when the person expressed that, somebody else in the chat basically said that. It's funny because the things that we notice and see about ourselves, half of the people don't even notice it or see it about us. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes the things that we're fearful of, or the opinions that we're fearful of, that people may say about us, hardly sometimes don't even exist. So I feel that whatever it is that we see about ourselves, whatever it is that, we view, we should still come forth, share that thing that you have to share, that, that message, that content, whatever it is, that vlogging, whatever it is you're doing, still go forth and do so. Don't allow those things to stop you, okay? Don't allow the fear of another person's opinion to stop you from pushing, okay? From reaching that goal, because the fact of the matter is, people have opinions. It's the reality of life. We have opinions, if we're honest, about other people too. But the fact of the matter is, it shouldn't stop us from going forward, from pushing, from moving, okay? And doing what we really want to do. One thing that made me laugh during the live is I had one of my lovely inspirations come up on the live stream and share some of her thoughts about, fear. And we were discussing and we were basically saying that, listen, when it comes to fear and it comes to, things that you're trying to maybe hide, and when the person finds out about it, you don't know what they're going to say, or it's going to be exposed. But sometimes when you put yourself on the front line and you come out and you say, this is what I'm going through, this is my weakness, this is, what I'm battling with, that person has no hold on you, or rather that exposure is not going to, make you feel afraid or anything like that, because you've already put yourself on the line. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out there and say your business to anybody. Of course, be led share your honest opinions and thoughts where you feel safe and where you feel secure. But ultimately, when you've put yourself on the line, that's as much as it goes. You've already put yourself out there, so the opinion of that person is like weakened, if you get what I mean. So that's something that we were laughing about. Like, if you put yourself out there, you have nothing to be afraid of. But anyway, so we also spoke about, the fact that fear has also been something that has held people back for many years. Like, if you had an idea in your mind and a plan, or something, a venture that you wanted to start, sometimes what happens with fear is that it can delay you, or it can delay us. It can delay, like, it's better to obviously do what you got to do eventually. But however, sometimes you think, oh, I wish I had this mindset 5 years ago, or I wish I wasn't so fearful 5 years ago, because I would have got so far. Do you understand? We even spoke about, like, content creators, even YouTube. A lot of people are saying that they wish they opened their YouTube page a long time ago, or started their YouTube page a long time ago, but fear stopped them. Do you understand? Somebody also put a good point in the chat. And remember, I'm just bringing this forth because I know that the live streams are long to watch back. So I'm just sharing a lot of, points that came through the stream. But somebody put a point forward, and they said that, sometimes it is good to feel fear, because when you feel fear, it's like a caution. You don't just walk into danger. So sometimes us having the ability to say, whoa, 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 I'm not going to put my hand in that fire because I know it's going to burn me, or I'm fearful to go down that alley. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if I go down that dark alley, something could happen. I could be in danger. So sometimes fear is there to guard us and to caution. Do you understand? So sometimes it is good in certain ways, right? We also explored the fact that when we are fearful, we cannot have faith in God. When we're fearful, we can't activate faith in any way, right? So fear is the opposite from faith. So these are some of the things that we've discussed. So I want you all to comment down below and let me know what you think about fear, and how you feel fear has impacted you, how you've even overcome it. Because really and truly, that was the whole purpose of the live. We were actually speaking about how to overcome fear. Do you understand? How to overcome it. That yes, fear will come. I feel like all of us will feel fearful, like whether it was 2 years ago, whether it was 2 minutes ago, we've all had that feeling of fear. We can all relate to fear and what fear is, regardless of what area it was in our life, what situation. This is something that we can all definitely relate to, fear. But how do you overcome fear? So that's one thing I want to know. I'm interested to know for everybody else, how do you overcome fear? So 120%, this was a great conversation. It's a great topic, and I hope you've all learned something today. Okay, so let's just do a little recap. Be careful of who you surround yourself with. All right, make sure you're in a safe environment, a comfortable environment where you feel like you can actually reach your potential. If you're not there and you cannot grow, maybe you need to reconsider some things. Have a talk with somebody in that setting so that your potential, okay, can be met. All right. Sometimes even when it comes to public speaking, that could be a fear, and I think we can all relate to that to some degree, okay? But sometimes when you step out there, even in small settings, try and make your opinion or your voice heard. Take a step, okay? This is something that you would have to, basically, it's your self-development. So you don't need to tell anybody, but you need to try and put yourself in situations where you're maybe coming out of your comfort zone. When you feel afraid to speak, if they ask you a question at work or at school, okay? It was funny because we were speaking about when the teacher asks a question in the classroom and you know the answer, but you don't put up your hand because you're afraid. Even though you know the answer. So I'm just saying, test yourself. Put your hand up the next time. If you're in that work meeting and they say, have you got a question to ask, or do you have anything to bring forward to the meeting? Bring it forward. You never know what is inside of you. You may need to speak. You may be the solution that they're looking for. Do you understand? But fear gets in the way. So we need to challenge ourselves, is what I'm saying here, and really step out. and take that leap, okay, of faith, right? Because we know that the opposite of faith is fear. So thank you all ever so much for being here today. God bless you all. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Until next time, be inspired, be encouraged, be blessed. Mwah. Take care, guys.